We will understand what is debouncing and throttling. Let's understand what is debouncing is. So debouncing is a technique that ensures a function is not called too frequently. Imagine typing in a search box and firing a search request for every key press. Really, that's a wasteful. With debouncing, the function only run after you stop typing for a specified time like 500 millisecond. This is super useful for search inputs, form validation, and resize events. Now let's see what is throttling. Throttling is similar but slightly different. It allows the function to run once every X millisecond, no matter how many times it's triggered. For example, imagine tracking a user's mouse movement or scrolling. Instead of capturing thousands of events per second, we can limit it to once every 2 seconds. This is useful for scroll tracking, mouse event, or window resize handlers. There are many use cases of debounce and throttling. Let's understand about the debouncing first. In the Google search we are using, the Amazon or the Flipkart filters we are using. In LinkedIn search, once we type something and give a pause, that time we are getting a relevant content for the LinkedIn. Similarly, we can see in Netflix search, which shows the suggestion after pause. Similarly, in Zomato, debounce restaurant suggestion based on the input. These are the some use cases. Coming to the use cases of throttling, like Meta Facebook feed, it will be unending scrolling, or we can see in YouTube comment section, Instagram reel, that's the most common, and we can say in Google Map, it will recalculate the view only after throttle map drag. Like we can see in Amazon scroll tracking as well, that will track scroll depth and throttle to avoid spams. Let's understand the whole code base now. Now we will see the whole code base. So the first line, import React use effect from React. This line indicating that we are importing use effect from React to manage side effects. This is important when attaching or removing the event listener. Coming to the next function, uh, like we have handle change and this handle mouse move. So this handle change function logs every time the input changes, but only after the debounce delay. And this particular handle mouse move function logs when the mouse move but throttle, so it only log once every 2 seconds. Next is the debounce utility function. So this debounce utility function I'll explain you. So this function define a function named debounce that takes two arguments. First one is the function. This is the actual function which we want to debounce. For example, here this function is representing the handle change. Now the second argument would be the delay. How long in millisecond to wait after the last event before running the function. This is what representing it. The next line, that is the let timer. It create a variable timer that will store the set timeout reference. It help track the ongoing timeout so we can clear it if the function get triggered again quickly. Now this particular line return a new inner function. And this function can take any number of arguments using 3.args. This is known as the res parameter, and this is the actual function that get triggered repeatedly like on every keystrokes. Coming to this next line, it cancel the previously scheduled function execution, and this ensure that if the function is called again before the delay finishes, the old call is discarded. And this next line is representing like it will start a new timer that will wait for delay in millisecond before calling the function. If this timer completes without interruption, function will finally run it. Here we have used fn.apply this comma args. Actually, this will call the original function, that is the this handle change function. This particular line of code, this call the original function using this. This is the current context, and with rgs, the original argument passed to the debounce function. Why don't we have used here call or bind? Because we are passing array of argument. That's why it is recommended to use apply in that case. And generally bind create a new copy of the existing one, but we do not need that. So that's why it's preferable to use the apply method. And at last, it will close the set timeout with the given delay time. Now coming to the next, let's understand about the throttle utility function. So this is the function of throttle. It defines a function name with the throttle and it accepts the two parameter. First one is the func, another one is the delay. So func, here the func is representing the actual function you want to control, like mouse movement handler over here. If I scroll up and if you see here, handle mouse move, this func is representing this handle mouse move. Okay. Now this delay is representing a time in millisecond to wait before allowing the next call. Now the next line, let run equals to false. It create a flag name run. Initially it will be the false, and this flag control whether the function should run now or we have to wait it. The next line, return function args. Okay, this will return a new function that wrap your original function. Here triple dot args is the rest operator to collect all the arguments into an array. Actually this function make the throttle function accept and forward arguments. Now coming to the next, this line only allow execution if run is false. If it is true, it means the execution was called recently and we need to wait it, and this particular line of code will not execute then. Then we have a func args. This will call the actual function you passed in func with all the arguments. Then we will assigning true to run, and this began the throttle period right now. And it prevent the function from being called again immediately. Next, we have this line of code. After delay in millisecond, it will unlock by setting run equals to false. This allows the function to run again the next time it's called. Now, now we have the use effect. We throttle mouse movement logs using a delay of 2 seconds. This cleaner function ensure it's remove on component unmount. If I scroll little bit more down, there is a input field over here. This input field uses our debounce utility function with a 500 millisecond, perfect for the real-time search optimization. So I think we have seen the code of throttle and debounce over here.